52 Guyana Defense Force officers received their instruments of commission by President David Granger, and government bids farewell to Indian High Commissioner. It's Thursday, June 27. These and more in today's news. 52 newly commissioned officers of the Guyana Defense Force were on Thursday presented with their instruments of commission by Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President David Granger.
The second lieutenants were officially presented with their instruments of commission at a ceremony held at the Buridi Benab State House. President David Granger reminded the new officers that their commissions are not merely certificates to mark the successful completion of a training course. They constitute the lawful license for them to exercise leadership and stewardship.
An officer's commission demands trust, loyalty, and good conduct. It requires each officer to exercise dutiful diligence and discipline in the discharge of his or her duties, and to demonstrate obedience to their superiors. Officers are challenged to uphold the motto of the Colonel Regiment Officer Cadet School, I serve, Guyana. Officers are required by their conduct to exemplify the school's maxims of loyalty, honesty, worth, courage, discipline, and steadfastness.
Of the 52 standard and reserve officers, 7 were women. The ranks graduated with an associate's degree in general studies from the University of Guyana. Top students of the officers' course, Jehu West, thanked the president for reminding them to practice the values and standards of the Guyana Defense Force.
Let me once again say thanks, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Chief of Staff and all officers present, for your interesting and inspiring discourse, which has provided us with a sense of intellectual enrichment and the stimulation for effectively performing our duties in support of the trust for total national defense.
West enlisted in the Guyana Defense Force in June 2017 with an interest in engineering and medicine. He excelled in the 4 main competency skills while completing the course. Sneaker Thorne, InfoHub.
As Guyana and India celebrate half a century of diplomatic relations, the government bid farewell to outgoing Indian High Commissioner Venkatachalam Mahalingam, thanking him for India's support of the Republic.
At a reception held on Wednesday evening at the Pegasus Hotel, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu extended heartfelt gratitude to the outgoing High Commissioner for his efforts over the past 5 years to further strengthen the bilateral bonds between Guyana and India.
The government and people of Guyana wish you a warm farewell and extend heartfelt gratitude to you, Excellency, for your active effort over the past 5 years to further strengthen the bilateral bonds between Guyana and India. Looking ahead, Guyana and India have signed memoranda in the field of energy, and our government has placed collaboration in the field of renewable energy as a priority within the context of Guyana's Green State Development Strategy.
Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, V. Mahalingam, related that it is a bittersweet moment for him as he departs Guyana for his next posting.
During the last 50 years, since establishing the full diplomatic relations between India and Guyana, irrespective of the political party in power in Guyana, our bilateral relations have been warm and friendly. The most important thing is that there have been no irritants plaguing the relations. Apart from that, we have consistently held common positions and supported each other in the multilateral arena. I am also proud to state that Guyana supported India in all the international candidatures put forward by us, and that is a manifestation of excellent relations that India and Guyana enjoy today.
In attendance were ministers and other officials of the government, members of parliament, and members of the diplomatic corps, among other invitees. Guyana and India established diplomatic relations in 1966 and have since built strong bonds in the promotion of economic interests and the strengthening of cultural ties. For InfoHub, Rebecca Ganesh.
In oil and gas news, the Stenford Class 3 drill ship has arrived in Ghana and will soon embark on a drill campaign at the Oranjewk block, where UK-based Tullow Oil and its co-venture partners are optimistic of striking crude. According to the local oil and gas news site Oil Now, Tullow Oil will drill the Jethro 1 prospect, which is expected to be followed by a second well, the Joe prospect, a few kilometers away. The two wells are not contingent and will be drilled immediately, one after the other. Junior partner Eco Atlantic Oil and Gas has said the Oranjewk block could contain as much as 4 billion barrels of recoverable oil. Oranjewk is located next to the prolific Stabroek block, where U.S. oil major ExxonMobil has already found more than 5.5 billion barrels of crude. More on the story can be read on our website. Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan believes a consensual process between President David Granger and the opposition leader is an effective way of choosing a suitable chairman for the Ghana Elections Commission, GECOM.
Minister Ramjatan said the only way a consensus can be met is by doing exactly what the Caribbean Court of Justice have exerted. He was at the time responding to questions from members of the media on the best way forward in selecting a new GECOM chairman.
If they make a request that indeed the two leaders of the coalition government and the opposition must meet, they must meet. In relation to the elections chairman, both the leader of the opposition and the president must meet and work out the 6 names. So it is not as if the leader of the opposition could just go and put 6 names into the hands of the president. They must meet and they can deliberate on 6 names that are acceptable to the president. And from those 6, he could select one.
Minister Ramjatan said Justice Saunders, in his decision, made it crystal clear on the process going forward.
The consensual approach, in accordance with paragraph 10 of Justice Saunders, I think paragraph 10 of his decision, is how do you approach the question? And he says they must, and he bolded the word must, that they must meet and work out the 6 names together. And then, once it is acceptable to the president then selects one of the 6.
Minister Ramjatan said he believes it is a progressive move and one that should be adhered to by both parties. However, should that process fail, then the president will utilize the proviso. That is Article 161(2) of the Constitution of Guyana, that allows for the appointment to be made unilaterally where the opposition leader fails to submit a list as provided for. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Still to come, Region 6 residents praise Harmony Village 3 and NDIA officials visit Pomeroon to address concerns of residents. Details of these and more after the break. Stay with us.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. The Department of Social Cohesion's flagship event, Harmony Village, was taken to Region 6, where residents praised the initiative. Isaiah Braffett was there and has that story.
Harmony Village 3 was lauded by residents of East Berbice Region 6. They believe that the event has the potential to unite the people of the region.
It brings you out into participating into something that is quite colorful and cohesive. So I think the initiative is an excellent one, and coming on board has made me feel very much a part of being a real and a true Guyanese.
I feel this is really good for our country, for our region, and persons are really learning so many things. And we have a wide cross-section of things from all sections of society. And so today is a grand day and persons are really, really learning much.
Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton said that Harmony Village is a clear indication that Guyanese can work together to foster national unity.
It is my genuine hope that Harmony Village 3 will inspire each of you to put your best foot forward as we work on shattering all the barriers that divide us and build bridges that will unify our country and propel its prosperity.
Regional Executive Officer Kim Stevens says Harmony Village shows that we can embrace each other despite our differences.
I urge us all to embrace it, to learn to appreciate our unique differences. You hear me? Our unique differences, so that we can indeed build this beautiful region of ours and this beautiful country of ours.
With a massive turnout and over 60 booths, the event was held under the theme Promoting Our Diversities, Building a Unified Guyana. Reporting from East Berbice Region 6, I am Isaiah Braffett with videographer Anil Silal for InfoHub.
Officials from the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority met with Pomeroon residents to address matters raised during the Region 2 government outreach.
Meet Yolanda Ashby, a farmer living along a facade in the lower Pomeroon, faced with navigating the canal she needs to use daily, as it is the only way in and out of the community.
Facing a serious problem with the canal of desilting, and it need desilting because it's shallow. You could see the antelope grass take it over and it's shallow. Even cleaning the antelope grass alone ain't going to solve the problem.
Chief Executive Officer of the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, Frederick Flats, listened keenly to the concerns of Ashby and other persons during the site visits conducted to see how best the authority can aid those in need. Flats took the time to explain to Ashby that he and his engineer are aware of the problems she and others are facing here and assured her that something will soon be done.
We'll be excavating that channel. Right now the award of tender is awaiting NPTAB's attention. So we are hoping that we'll be able to physically start those works perhaps in another 2 or 3 weeks.
Flats and his team of engineers conducted these site visits in several communities along the Pomeroon River.
Following the meeting, which was labeled Taking Government to the People, a number of persons in the Pomeroon area made complaints concerning the poor drainage and irrigation in their areas. Today we visited a number of areas along the Nunes Canal, Jones Canals, Friendship Canal. We're also in Hackney Canal.
Armed with the necessary information from these visits, which stemmed from persons utilizing the Government Comes to You outreach to voice their concerns, the NDIA will now be able to formulate a formidable plan to aid these residents in need. Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
More students now have access to an improved learning environment as the Ministry of Education continues to upgrade educational facilities countrywide.
Educational infrastructure has seen tremendous improvements and advancements over the last few years, following several interventions by the Ministry of Education. Just recently, Education Minister Dr. Nicolette Henry commissioned a new $33 million nursery school in Calcutta Region 5. The upgraded Calcutta Nursery School is a major step up from the previous facility the students were housed in. Dr. Henry is confident that the school will improve the delivery of education for the young students.
Whether they live in Georgetown or they live outside of Georgetown, education should happen in an environment that is appropriate and conducive for learning.
Additionally, she explained that having an appropriate classroom and learning environment is paramount to the improved delivery of education, and as such, her ministry continues to make strides in this regard.
It certainly is an upgrade from what you previously operated in. It's by no means it's the best facility in the world, but it is an appropriate facility for learning to take place. And I'm certain that within the walls of this building, a lot of learning will take place and great things will happen.
It remains the vision of the government to bridge any disparities existing within the education sector to ensure that every child is afforded a quality education. Over the last few weeks, in excess of $128 million was expended to improve quality of education in Regions 5 and 6. Of the $52.2 billion allocated for the education sector in the 2019 budget, $5.4 billion has been designated for the construction, rehabilitation, extension, and maintenance of schools across the country. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.